Hello, hello, hello. Hi, family. How are you? This is your Auntie's Could Never, and we are reviewing season 4 of Love is Blind. Although it's the reunion show that we're viewing today, which means it's the last in the season. Oh my God,
Mhm.
we've come to an end. But anyway, I'm Auntie Sade, and I'm here with.
Auntie Nana.
And Auntie Farah.
So as I said, this is we're reviewing the reunion today, and yeah, this was just seems it's the last episode in this season, and it's a bit sad because we've been doing this for 13 weeks now. So hopefully you've enjoyed and everything like that. And it's been a hell of a ride, right? It really has. Before we get into the episode, just a reminder that we're not therapists or psychiatrists or relationship specialists, anything like that. We're just three very opinionated aunties. And I think we agreed last episode that love is blind. So we believe that
Yes.
love is blind, right? So yes, our discovery, our investigation, we have our result.
Our hypothesis.
Our hypothesis, yes. So yeah, but before we start talking about all the things, please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of April. So we got a little way to go, guys. So we need to pick up the pace a little bit. So if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to our channel. Also like this video. By liking it, it just shows up for other people as well, kind of thing, and works in favor of the algorithm. As does commenting. Get involved in the conversation too. We want to hear what you've got to say, and we know there's a lot to say today. And also share this video too, as well, kind of thing. We want to grow our family. We want to have new friends, and share with like-minded people. So, guys, the reunion. Actually, first of all, Netflix, yeah. Netflix.
Thank you.
Netflix had us up waiting like a donkey. I couldn't believe it. Seriously.
You know what? How many times I was refreshing, like falling asleep. No. It's got to stay awake. It's going to start now. Right. When they were doing that 15 minutes, like just it's coming soon.
That was the cheek when they said love is blind, but what is it? Something about be patient. When they changed it to say something like that, it was like, hold on. And I was doing the same as you, refresh. And as I was dropping off, I thought to myself, Auntie Sade's still watching. Let me just try to stay up. And then after a while, I was like, nah. And then I'd come out of it and I'd be like, but once it started, and I'd go back into it.
That's how I was when I woke up. I thought you guys had seen it. So
yes, you did. Yeah,
I missed it. I fell asleep and then was like, no, nobody saw it.
No one.
Nobody saw it.
They lied to us. They kept us string. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, so for us, obviously in the UK, that time convert was 1 a.m. in the morning, and we were waiting at least an hour. I think I said maybe like an hour and a half after it was supposed to start. And I had an early start the next morning, so I had no business being up anyway. Do you know what I mean? And it was just like, just really disappointing. And then just having being in the live on Instagram and the live on TikTok, and then just people saying, "Oh, it's live. I've seen this person," and then just go in there and also people just lying. It was just really annoying. It was really, really, really annoying. I was so annoyed. And obviously
people got to see it though.
No.
They're lying.
No. They lied. No.
I was speaking to Gilda. So Gilda's in the comments now. Gilda watched it that night. So she was on IG asking us, have we seen it? And I was like, it's not up. So
but how?
Okay, so I don't know. And then I was seeing loads of TikTok videos and people were watching it. And it's like, well, why can't we watch it?
I didn't see any of that.
No, same.
12 noon their time. I think in kind of early I can't work.
That was like 7, but it didn't come on at 7.
It didn't come on 7 for us, but it was early for them basically. So
and then when it did come on, it wasn't like I could only watch it on the app on my phone for some reason. Like I refreshed it everywhere else and I couldn't watch it on my TV. I couldn't watch it. It's like they were doing selective places that you could watch it. It was so random.
It was terrible. And the thing is, this just goes back like real world consequences, because Netflix, you know, a couple of months ago, they fired loads of people from their tech department, apparently, do you know what I mean? High level, you know, engineers who actually, you know, this is what they're needed for. And also as well, like just watching it, and we will get into it kind of thing. There's no reason this had to be live. There's no reason it has to be live at all. For what we got, I wanted magic, and no, there was no.
From a broadcasting point of view, someone didn't test the lines. That's where they fucked up, because you have to test the line. If you're doing a live show, you have to test the thing. Yeah, they clearly didn't do that. Yeah. On top of that, like you said, Auntie Sade, what was the point of them doing it live? Secondly, they didn't even fully give us an explanation as to what happened.
Right. They need to put out a statement, because you want to be increasing prices and asking people not to share their frigging passwords with people.
Right.
You're giving us subpar services. Absolutely not. Sorry, no, Netflix, naughty.
Naughty Netflix.
I really do want a month off. I think that they should allow people to put in a form, because not everybody, I know people always say everyone's going to do it. Literally, not everybody is going to do it. It's only going to be the people that want to do it and they can afford it. Give us a month free.
Yeah.
It
wasn't okay what happened, because yes, I went to sleep at like 1:45.
Yeah.
Business going to sleep.
Not cool. No, it really isn't okay at all. But yes, so yes, Netflix, naughty. We'll get into the show. So the reunion. This is where we have Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Is that their surname? Lachey?
Yeah.
I do like their surname. It's cute.
It is cute.
Yeah.
It's cute. Hosting the show. And actually, first of all, let's talk fashion, right? You know.
Oh, I knew you were gonna go there.
Okay.
Let's talk fashion. We had Vanessa, Nick, and then we had Brett and Tiffany, obviously, Kwame and Chelsea, Bliss and Zach. We had Micah. Irina joined later, and then we had what's his name, Paul, as well. And obviously, everybody knows now that Josh and Jackie were via video link, pre-recorded video link, which they should have just done for the whole thing. But anyway, what did you think of the outfits, guys? What did you think? Because I have thoughts.
Vanessa's dress was hugely disappointing.
Hugely disappointing.
You could see where it was trying to go, but missed all the points. I was like, just be a scarf or be a bow, but we can't have a stubby scarf looking. But it was just really silly, unnecessary. And I didn't really like her makeup. She looked quite tired as well. Like it looked like everything had, you know, when your makeup starts to kind of drop a little bit. Yeah, she didn't look the best she's looked. You know what? I think again it was Tiffany. I just think Tiffany looked the best. But other than that, I thought everybody for reunion style, they were all terrible.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
I'm thinking like Love and Real Housewives, how they do it. Yeah. I'm like, you guys, come on, man. What is this?
I did not like Vanessa's dress at all. It was giving me prom 1990. Her shoes were distracting as well. I really didn't like her shoes. They were like some sparkly. It was the shape of them. I didn't quite get them. They didn't stand out. They weren't like fantastic shoes, considering she's the host. I agree with you about her makeup and stuff, but I think she probably was tired because they've been sitting there waiting for the producers or the tech people to pull their fingers out. So I kind of get it. Micah looked like she was going to prove a point. I didn't not like her outfit. I actually thought her outfit was good. I liked it. But I didn't like her makeup and I didn't like her hair. I thought that really aged her. I also didn't like Irina's makeup. I didn't like Irina's outfit. It looked like she just picked it up along the way. Like they weren't sure what to put her in, so she just took it off the rack and put it on. Like there was no thought behind it whatsoever. I liked Tiffany and Brett together, although Brett's, I think his trousers were a bit too short.
I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that ankle swinging no socks.
No.
They were way too short. I thought it was cute that Zach and Bliss had color coordinated. But again, it's not like I was loving their outfits. I just thought it was cute that they had done that. But yeah, Brett and Tiffany probably for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite similar. I actually absolutely loved Micah's dress. I thought it was just absolutely amazing, and actually of the occasion. Do you know what I mean? It was flamboyant, show out. Do you know what I mean? The high split, everything. I thought it was absolutely giving. Everything else, no, just absolutely just not. Irina, just bro, what's going on? What is going for all your energy? What is going on? I just can't with her.
He had looked better going to parties. So I was kind of surprised at Irina's look, because remember when that time when she had that underboob out and was in like, it's like, so she does dresses. I was a bit surprised at her. Like what?
Yeah.
Like church girl reformed or something. Like I'm new now.
And her makeup was like, it just, I don't know if she'd been crying beforehand, maybe. It was like none of them got touch-ups either. And I just thought that was really evident.
Lines were very visible underneath the chins, like this and that. And I'm not a makeup person, but I clocked the difference between this and that. It was a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't cool. I like the fact the color on Bliss. I like the color, but everything else no. And I actually prefer Kwame and Chelsea's combo in terms of like them matching than anybody else. I thought it was cute.
Yeah,
I loved that shade of pink on her. I liked his blue, it kind of like offset, and then he had the little pocket square that kind of matched the pink. I thought it was nice.
Do you know what? I liked his outfit over Brett's outfit, but I didn't like Chelsea's dress.
No.
No, I didn't. I think the combination of them was cute. But Kwame actually probably had the best outfit on for the men.
Yeah, I think his suit fit was the nicest. I don't particularly like that color. Just a little bit deeper, and I think it would have popped on him a little bit more. But yeah, I get what you're saying about Chelsea's dress now. I've re-looked at it. I am like, actually, no, she looked quite cute. Her makeup looked nice as well. Like she actually looked really like ready and done. Yeah, it was just.
I
was expecting more. Maybe because of the live thing. So in all essence, I was expecting more. I thought it was really glossy and well done, and we were going to get almost like makeovers for them. Like they look brand new, and it was a bit like, these guys don't look too brand new, you know.
It's giving budget. It's giving like there's been no growth since last year. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's a year on. Like, where's the difference?
Yeah.
This no socks with shoes yet. I wasn't feeling it on any of the guys. No. Absolutely not. Oh my god. Is it Gilda? Yes, Kwame's hair looked the best I've ever seen it. It looks
ever. It's like he's got a proper shape up now.
Yeah.
Shape up or something. But
maybe.
No, I think maybe. Because I was looking. Yeah, maybe, because I was looking at it and it doesn't have that
he didn't
weird. No, it's like they've either gone back and taken all of that off, or he's filled it in. I need to maybe look at the past and look at the present to see. But it was like one line rather than. He did.
And steps. Yeah. much better. Yeah. Zach. Oh, we talked about Zach's new look beforehand. It's giving Castaway for me. Like I'm stranded on a desert island. I can't get off. And also, that's when I realized you look like freaking Ben Affleck's brother.
The budget one.
Budget Ben Affleck. That's his twin. That's his budget twin. Like, honestly.
He's not better though. Now that because like in some of the VTs, it was looking very bushy and long hair. This was more tailored. Like, he looked a little bit more clean than usual. Yeah, I kind of like the beard. I don't know. I think it's growing on me. Maybe I've just seen him in the beard enough times now to be like, okay, it doesn't look so weird. But
I prefer it low. Yeah, I prefer it low how he looked on the reunion than how, like you said, Auntie Nana, than how he's been looking when it's like, we're going to be on the show today. Like, those kinds of shots. Like, it was like, that was giving me real Castaway. This is what he's giving me now is like Castaway when he gets home and he has his first haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So also we should just say,
oh, sorry, Marshall looked good. Marshall actually looked good. Marshall's suit, his combination was, I know you hate him, but his combination of suit and the cut, he actually looked good. Yeah. I don't, his clothing, he looked good in his clothing.
No, I actually did like Marshall's whole.
Yeah.
It was just still,
I think so.
High leg, no socks shit.
Yeah,
I know, like, you see it in clubs a lot now as well. I just don't like that look. It's really annoying. And I didn't actually think it was going to get to America because it's very European. So I was kind of surprised that they all had that kind of going on. It's like, it looks ridiculous. It looked ridiculous.
But they are a bit late with it though, aren't they?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was, how they're baggy central and just usually it's a long leg. Like, just, I didn't think it was going to convert. So I was surprised that they were also taking on this, like, I'm showing you shin. Look at that was a good look. Like, I want to see my shin. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, yeah. He was there. I think what I wanted to say was that just to point out that everyone's still married, which is great. You know what I mean? Like, we've had no breakups other than the ones that we already knew. Yeah, I think it started off light. There was like this really I think it was kind of like a bit of a strange joke about Tiffany sleeping and falling asleep and everything like that. And yeah, I think let's go try and do couple by couple if we can, right? So let's start with Chelsea and Kwame. So obviously, I would say that we all had reservations about how this whole interview was going to go anyway, kind of thing, because there were certain questions we wanted answered, right? Do you know what I mean? And oh God, I don't even know where to start with them. So they talked about the underwear. They were going on and on about these the underwear. And apparently that photo shoot, that was the day that, Kwame realized that Chelsea was the one.
That's all I thought.
So a couple days before the wedding then, basically.
Yeah. But that whole photo shoot, to me, he seemed the most like, what am I getting myself into type of state. I just thought it was all very strange, their answers, unless the editing had spun it in such a way. But I still don't believe him. I still think he wasn't sure. I just didn't believe him at all. But him saying, they were really connected then, it's like, really? Your face weren't saying that.
I'm just like, is the laugh a lying, nervous laugh? Is that what it is? So are you kind of, in those moments where you're laughing, are you just lying to camera because they've said, oh, we need to cast some doubt on this, try this take and and he's just like, like, do you know what I mean? Because he can't act? Or what is it? Because honestly, he was not given even... Because obviously they're saying like, oh, this Chelsea did say like what you see on screen is like 5% of what what that scene was or what their relationship is, right? Do you know what I mean? So it's just like how even if you're given that, if that is the case, you still said some mad things. You still had a reaction. Do you know what I mean? Like you still was bored on that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you weren't comfortable, so that's not a lie, or is it? I don't know. What did you guys think of that?
Well, I guess he didn't say he was acting. I don't know, you know. Yeah, I just wasn't convinced. I actually didn't believe them. I was like, I don't believe this line. And the only thing that I did believe from them was Chelsea saying, I was assertive and went for what I wanted. And it's like, yeah, that's very evident. We all saw that. But him, I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Yeah. I didn't like how he tried to wash over some of his behavior, particularly when they were talking about how did Chelsea feel watching back the Micah experience and all of that kind of stuff. I think he tried to say a lot of words because that's what he does without saying too much. That's what I got from him. And, you know, that's not very genuine. And I want to take this opportunity to apologize to my wife. And I get like what you see might not be all of it. But as you said, Auntie Sade, what we saw was a lot of, I don't know if I want to do this, you know, there wasn't any point where he was like, yes, I definitely, you know, I'm conflicted. It was just, I'm not sure. It still makes me uncomfortable. I still feel like they're cute. Like, you can see that they're bonded because it's been a year. You can see that they've definitely bonded, but I still don't know if I believe him that he, you know, he's 100% happy with where he is, or that he's at the stage where it's like, I'm going to really try to work on this.
Yeah.
Because I saw an interview afterwards with them, like that thing. I think one of you guys sent it in the group. And there was a question that when she was talking about babies, and his response, it was just like,
yeah.
And even in the show when they were talking about babies, it's just very.
Yeah, we'll get onto that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about them.
You do raise a good point because he apologized, and he apologized fully. He gave 3 points. It was a 3-point apology. He apologized for being immature. He let his ego get the best of him. He apologized to her family, and he also apologized to the fans. And, you know, he really recognized that he needed to grow. And I just thought, like, because they started with this, I thought, okay, this is how you apologize. It is. Yeah. If you want to turn the tide and win over hearts and minds, then you have to show that you're thoughtful, you're reflective, you have to humble yourself. And he did all of those things. And I think he definitely won some points. Like, Kwame didn't come off like a villain.
No, not at all.
Like, he redeemed himself. And because it was early on, other people should have taken note. Micah, to me, looked hella uncomfortable. Obviously, they showed a clip of Chelsea and Micah meeting their dogs and like talking about you know, that they both fell in love with the same guy and everything like that, and it was just really like uncomfortable. One thing I do like about Chelsea is that she really does know how to like focus a conversation. You're not going to wrap it. We're going to bring it back to the issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
I really, really like that.
Isn't she a therapist?
Yes, something along those lines. She's yes. I think doesn't she work with young people?
I think so.
In some sort of speech therapy or something like that, I think. But
I think that's what it is. But how she can really like refocus and center and be like, okay, this is where we're going. I was like, that's very much like you've worked with lots of people who you got to bring them back. This is where we're focused on. And Micah tries it because
she does
getting away with that with people. Like, I still don't even think Chelsea should have met her anyway. I was like, that you didn't need to see her. You just split. Like, put her to one side.
I do, though, however, even though I did just say I really liked Kwame's apology, what it doesn't account for is like Chelsea's birthday. You came out after that and said some really disrespectful things. Do you know what I mean? And that was out of order. So what your apology was for was the pool. Do you know what I mean? And like you talking to you know, Micah then and being disrespectful, but you done some disrespectful things after that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, we can't forget just forget those things. Well, I'm not this type of person.
We can't forget those things, and we can't forget, even though you try to wash over your reasons for you having a meltdown when what's her face broke up with you, we can't get over that. And then even in that clip with them walking their dogs, when Chelsea said to Micah, you know, you broke up with each other or something like that, Micah was like, there was a look that she gave, and I think Vanessa or someone caught it, but because Kwame's trying it. I think at all points he's trying to cover a lot of his real feelings towards Micah, or make light of it because he's in the situation now with Chelsea.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And I think that's why he led with the apology as well.
Yeah. It was definitely strategic. I don't think it was just like, oh no, but he's just like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do it this moment, and I'm gonna make sure that I get these points out. It's gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Yes. You know, Vanessa annoyed me. We're going to talk about Vanessa annoying me and probably you guys throughout the show. I really do think that's going to happen. One of the first things she did to annoy me was when she was talking about Kwame's sister. The getting her name wrong annoyed me. The fact that she kept on going on, she's so joyful. It was giving every adjective that she used, it was giving mummy. I just didn't like it. I did not like
saying that. Short of saying that, that was the picture she was painting.
Yeah,
she just didn't go into, you know, like those like the mammies that were around in the South. Like she, short of saying that, but everything else, I don't know what it was with Vanessa. At some points, I felt, I wanted Nick to talk more. And I don't know if he would be better. True. But maybe just his involvement would have been a little bit better. And thinking just popped into my head about Kwame really dodging and skating over the way he was barling was pissing me off.
That really annoyed me. It really annoyed me.
I was processing. You were barling on the counter, bruv. Barling. Like, you're not gonna let it go. Really? You knew it was over. You was about to propose.
Yeah.
That was just lies.
You were in the middle You were in the middle of proposing. And she dumped you. Don't act like you were preparing for that and you knew it was coming. Your reaction did not show that at all. And I'm not saying that you and Chelsea didn't have precious times together in the pod and whatever, but you would not have chose her. If Micah had agreed to marry you, you would be sitting on a chair either opposite or next to her. That's where you would be.
Yeah, 100%. But she wouldn't marry you because you don't.
And that's why she gave that look when they met with the dogs. Yeah. Because when Chelsea said that to her, Micah was thinking, really? It's not.
It's how it's gonna go. Like,
and even the response, like even when she said, I think she said something like, "That's not how I remember it, but that doesn't matter now." She tried to be very graceful in the way that she responded to it.
Actually, I think Micah's we will get onto her. Her media training is freaking excellent.
It's on point.
It was so good.
It's on point.
Yeah,
she paid someone. She definitely
she did.
The delusions of Chelsea and Kwame together was in full effect. So, like, I thought. So, I, on one hand, it's like, great, you guys are on the same page and you put on a united front. But he was lying and she was complicit in the lies. A bit Get Out-ish. It was like, okay, so this is what we're presenting. But I cannot forget the guy barling over Micah. And he can't spin that in no way of processing. And for the feelings that we had days before, I don't care. You barled on TV and we watched you.
Yeah. I do think.
And
also, what was you going to say?
I was just going to say, and that's why he was so pissed in Mexico when she made the comment about the failed proposal. That's why he was so pissed about it.
Yeah. No, definitely. I do think like it's interesting because obviously they're married a year now. So, you know, maybe they made that decision. Actually, we're going to stick together. We're going to be a solid unit. This is how we're going to approach this as husband and wife, which is sometimes I do think like as husbands and wife, like sometimes you have to do those kind of things just to save face. So it's really interesting. Also, I'm really glad that Chelsea has met his mum as well, kind of thing. She said that she was, I do. I don't think Chelsea would boldface lie. Do you know?
I don't know. I was just like, I wanted a picture. I just wanted something. I wanted.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but obviously the mum and the dad are like, we're not involved in anything that's going to make us public at all, ever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're not interested. But you know, the thing is, it was just like, it's very, you know, it started out as a really sweet moment, but I just don't think she had to mention the niece. Saying, oh, you know, I'm so great, I'm so thankful for you to be there. Like, I was just like, it just makes me feel icky. Like,
what made me feel icky is when she said, his family are just like mine. That made me feel icky. They're just like my family. Are they? And the food they gave me. Like, okay then, Chelsea.
Typical, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an ally. It's the ally syndrome. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you mean ally syndrome? There must be a theory about that somewhere.
Yeah. They're no different, guys. Honestly, they're no different. Like, they're really
just the
same. Okay.
Apart from your family embraced you and his parents didn't. They're so similar. Do you know what I mean? So then let's jump to Zach and Bliss. So obviously, like I said, I think the last episode, whoever, do you know what I mean? Oh, actually, with these guys as well, like with the song, having that play out, do you know what I mean? Them, you know, meeting each other, having a commonality with the song, them not being together, then coming together and having that first dance, magical moment. Do you know what I mean? That's a great moment for TV. They showed a clip of it. I feel like they've done Bliss dirty a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, her lash was falling off. Like, she didn't look, it was just awful. Like, that's your wedding day. Like, I'm just like...
But remember, we spoke about it though, innit? To me, all of the brides looked not ready. Like, not fully done. I don't know. Maybe it's time constraints. Maybe the makeup artist is like, and hairstylist, you got to get this done, and they got to go. But I wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, she kind of looked a bit of a mess, but they're that couple anyway. They would just laugh at it and keep on moving. They are super cute.
They're aren't they?
Like,
they are.
There's something cute about them. I was like, actually, I kind of like you two. Like,
yeah.
I could have a meal with them.
I did.
I mean, I don't know about all that, Auntie Nana, but she said she could have a meal with them.
Yeah, I'd go to a dinner party with those two. I think it would be interesting for an evening, like 2 hours max. But I could do that.
It'd be hella boring.
No,
I'm sure they're nice people, but
Auntie Nana's going for the story as always.
And they're going to give you a story. It's like,
yeah.
They're interesting for a meal, definitely.
I did like how they dealt with things on the and how united they were as well.
So we started off with, you know, talking about the relationship Zach now has with Bliss's dad, and apparently it's water under the bridge now. They're best buddies. He's even paying for their honeymoon, which is nice. And he's kind of like, you know, Zach was talking about how he got a look of approval from him when they were taking Bliss down the aisle. Do you know what I mean? But he took a long time to say that, and I do think he's neurodivergent, and I think that, Paul is too.
That's why they get on.
And then we get to Irina and Micah, basically. Irina just starts crying straight away, just white women tears.
She had a booze as well. People were like, "We don't believe you. Pack it in."
Crying though,
and it was probably like, I
need a minute.
I need a minute. Nothing.
So what I want to say is, I was literally like, could you not have done a better scene? At least one tear could have dropped out in the time.
Something.
No one has that skill, Auntie Nana.
Like no, people do. People do.
You don't have to cry.
Yeah, so can I. Like what she should have done is she should have pulled her hair somewhere. Doesn't pinched herself, cut a hole in her big old dress, and pinch herself. Do something.
You can't start your scene like that and not drop one tear. Like I was like, this is bogus. From when she did that, I was like, boo! Like, I was booing as well.
Me too. I was as well.
It was like she had a script that she hadn't learned properly, and she was just like rambling, going on and on and on. She said that she privately apologized, and she, to them too, and she was like sorry to all the people that watched who had been bullied, that kind of thing, that triggering some things. Bliss. I love me some Bliss, when she's in a mood, boy, because she was.
Me too.
She was so disappointed, and it's so sad to see someone so wonderful be treated so poorly. That was a killer line, I thought.
Yeah, it was.
And when Zach was asked, did you think that Irina took your relationship seriously? He was just like a straight no.
And also how he said, you came on to be famous. I loved how those two dealt with her. I absolutely loved their delivery to her. Because there were moments when you thought that they were going to be quite, like, what's the word? Forgiving. And then they'd say something that makes you know, like, nah, but you did wrong. Nah, we don't forget. We're okay, but you are not okay.
Yeah. So Zach was basically saying, like, you've hurt a lot of people, not just me, like in general to Irina. And, and he was frank, saying, the comment about, her just wanting to be famous. But he did say that he forgived her, and also so did Bliss.
Bliss was a bit less forgiving.
Yeah, she was in her tone, but he did make a good point. He did say, like, everyone that's on the show has made some mistake at some point, and it's punishment enough, like, do you know what I mean, that being shown in front of like hundreds of thousands of people, and showing them at their worst. But Irina just wasn't computing, as far as I'm concerned. She just wasn't getting it. She used to say, then she starts saying that at point she didn't feel safe, that she was having panic attacks, and then she asked to go home. And you could see, like, literally, because I rewound it, you could see, like, Bliss, her breathing started to get more rapid. She was holding back, she got
a bit shaky almost then, didn't she? Like Bliss.
Well, watching her, like that episode when we spoke about mental health and how people just weaponize it, and then it kind of shuts down an escalation of a conversation because they bring in, but I was feeling this, and it's like we're being a shithead, and now I can't even go into how shitty you were being because now you've trumped me with, but I was having a mental health crisis.
Yeah,
you weren't having a panic attack. You've been horrible to him, and you may have been like your heart is beating because you're being so ferocious, and you put a pillow over your head, but you still didn't stop talking.
Yeah,
right. And over your head, still being a bitch. Like, it's like, no, I'm not. Again, can the host cut in and probe a little bit? You ain't got to go in on her, but just be like, really, Irina, because you carried on taking digs at him. I was like, no, this isn't okay.
Well, I think to be fair to Vanessa, she did at that point, and she pushed the issue of, like, you said that you had been a victim suffering from, being bullied, or being from malicious behavior from other people about your acne. Do you know what I mean? And she was saying, I know it was Irina, this is like, it was a jerk move, but she was having panic attacks. So she was still making excuses. But Bliss, I think, really and truly, just some killer lines from Bliss, honestly. She was just like, she didn't want to really address it further because she doesn't care, because it's a minor part of a relationship. But she did say, it's hard to reconcile malicious and cruel behavior and being a victim with panic attacks and mental illness. And that is what you're talking about, bringing those two things together. Like, how can you marry the two? If you're being a bitch, but, I'm in such pain, but you're being a bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're cognizant. Do you know what I mean? And she also said, like, there's power in taking accountability when you do something wrong rather than giving excuses. And literally what you see there is basically a grown woman talking to a little girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Grow the fuck up. Like, seriously.
I absolutely loved how Bliss handled her. Just like you said, she was on point, she was concise, she knew what she was going to get across, and that was it. And even the fact that, like you mentioned just there, where she was like, this is the last time I'm going to talk on it.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. She owned her.
There's no point in speaking to Irina because she doesn't know yet. So she can say, I was being a jerk. Yeah, I was being horrible. but she isn't really computing what she was doing. She still has, somehow, it's like her whole thing of, I didn't feel safe, that I didn't. Why did you go to Mexico? There's literally just instantly, it could have just been like, no, I can't do this, guys. Like all of that. You were having fun in Mexico as well and being a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of those
she
levels said, to it. It was like, no, you're being a bitch.
She said from she saw him and they met that she knew. Yeah. So why did you didn't need to go? Or when you got there on day one, you could have bust out. But you didn't. You stayed there and you were horrible to this dude. You said that. What did she say? He looks like a cartoon, like all types of things, like going in on his appearance. No, you were horrible. You were
oh my god,
screaming.
Character thing. Yeah, but she kept on saying you look like a cartoon character, and do you ever blink? And
all of that stuff. It's just not nice. And also because you can tell.
That's what they showed us, because he said she was even worse.
But he said that. Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah,
he was like, you only saw a part of what she was getting on with. It's very true.
Yeah.
She's just not.
Imagine the type of shit she was actually like. Also,
can you imagine?
I can actually, because she's a bitch. Like from when she done what she done to Amber and was giggling with Micah about that. And actually that's so talking about Micah. So then Micah was asked about, how do you feel? Because she tried to move to your man. And
but can I just say something before we get onto that? What I didn't like is how they brushed over Micah's participation in that bullying of people in the house.
Yes.
They focused purely on Irina, and yes, Irina was a bitch and still was not holding herself accountable for her actions. But it's almost like because of what Micah had gone through separately to that, they just brushed over it. In all the VT, you saw that it was when they started the VT, actually, it was like, oh, you had someone in there doing it. And then they just didn't focus any of the attention onto Micah's behavior. I didn't like that at all.
No, Micah got no questions.
She got no heat.
Irina type of thing. Irina took a lot. She took all of that heat from, especially.
She did.
Well, I think, so basically when Micah was talking, she was saying about, we both disrespected our partners. And, when Irina was saying that she liked Paul or heard about the flirting at in Mexico, she felt blindsided. But I think then the conversation was directed to Paul because he was off the back of that comment. Do you know what I mean? So I can see how that went there, but I do think they should have addressed it. But we will deep dive into Micah a little bit later. So Paul, him kind of justifying this was just like, he was saying we knew the boundaries, and in his eyes and their eyes, I didn't cross the line in flirting. Do you know what I mean? And we show the video. They showed the video of the tap on the bum of the bridesmaids, and Paul was saying, to imply it's ludicrous. Michael looked hella uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? And even watching the video in the reunion, I'm like, but why is the friend smiling so hard? You're smiling before, you're smiling after. It's not even okay, I'm a bit different because I don't really like people touching me in general anyway. But if someone I'm going to be like, what you do? Do you know what I mean? There's going to be it's not going to be why am I seeing teeth?
But also, did you see how uncomfortable and how a bit really Micah's face was when Paul was explaining it? Yeah. I feel like she was not convinced by what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know though. So I mean, we expected Paul to come with that excuse, we knew that was the only way. I bumped your shoulder and so I touch your bum. The two areas are similar, but the way she was defending her friends. I was more surprised at that. I was like, surely you would leave it an air of, I don't know what's going on with my brethren and Paul. So let's
stick on Paul for the moment. So let's stick with Paul. So with Paul, in this moment, do you know what I mean? What was your thoughts on how he responded there?
As in justifying what happened with Micah?
Yeah, and with Irina.
With Irene, I thought he was reasonable. I actually thought he gave context, because each time Micah was flirting with Kwame, we always said, why is Paul not talking about it? Where is Paul? Where was he not seeing it? it all made sense now. It's like, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're talking about this. So yeah, I thought, no, Micah is trying to throw him under the bus, and being like, they didn't have this talk because she's going, we disrespected. But if you had established we can flirt, then you can flirt. That's the establishment. I was like, actually,
because she
confirmed it.
She didn't seem concerned about what she was doing in front of him at all, and he wasn't paying any attention. At no point in time, the only thing that he said, the only time that he mentioned any of that was when it was Amber. But I think that's because of the connection that he had with Amber in the pod at Chelsea's birthday. When she came, he was like, I'm not even going to go there. But I think that is literally because of, that's a different scenario, isn't it? Like there was you had some sort of relationship with this chick. So it kind of did make sense to me what he said when he was like, well, those are we'd already spoken about it.
Yeah. It seems like they were kind of both keeping their options open, though. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, it seemed, but I guess they're young. I don't know, they're younger, so maybe that's why. You know, Paul was asked if, you know, talking about, you know, the wedding day now when they're at the altar. And obviously, Micah said, you know, when she was asked first, and she said, you know, the best thing for me would be if you answered first. And Paul was asked if she had said yes, what would your answer would have been? You know, at this point, Micah starts crying. She talks about how she knew that she was going to say yes. Do you guys believe her? No? Okay,
not for a minute. Because I think if you're going to say yes, say yes. The whole part of the experiment, it shouldn't be like the caveat of, I'm going to let him do it first because he's the one that's wavering. It's like, I just didn't believe it. I think he also was wavering as well, and you just decided to put it on him. There was just too many parts to her where I was like, you're being dishonest, and you now be villain status like what you've been getting. It was like, no, I don't believe you. You just didn't want to say no first. And you knew he was going to say no. Because you two were shit. Like, they just were a shitty couple, really. It's like...
I definitely think she had her reservations. But I don't know, because part of me feels like she would have said yes, but she just didn't want to be rejected. And whether or not they would still be together because of, you know... I just don't think they were right pairing for each other. You know, we know that more now than we did before. But I feel like she would have said yes if she thought he was going to say yes. I feel like she would have said yes. But because she had reservations within their relationship and the security of their relationship, she didn't know what he was going to do. So she just didn't want the embarrassment. That's kind of where I got from that. What I got from that. But that's not to say that that she didn't. I think she did have feelings for him. But just not, it's going to work out for life feelings.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I'm more on that side. I think I'm conflicted. I'm open to the idea of her. I think I was closed off to it before, but I'm open to the idea of her because she's a slippery snake. But I generally maybe caught up in the emotion of the show. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely believed her that she was actually had the intention to say yes, and that is, you know, not just embarrassed, because either way she's embarrassed now, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and him, you know, also saying, you know, when he was asked, and Vanessa she did press him, you know. I don't know.
She pressed him a lot.
She did. There. Like, you know, would he have said yes? And he was just like, I can't say that. I can't say that I would have said yes. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of like validates, you know, what Micah was saying that she was feeling. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's a very, but also I recognize it's a neat excuse. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's like,
he did kind of own his part of that, though, even though it was in the most roundabout way that he got there. He did, you know, say that perhaps I wasn't giving her what it was that she needed, but I can't make someone change because I expect them to be a certain way. So
what you're talking about is Micah being asked, Paul was being asked, you know, about the comment that he made about Micah not being seen as a mother, right? Do you know what I mean? So he said that on camera after, and apparently Micah is saying that she did not see that until the show aired, and they actually dated for at least a couple of weeks after the show had finished. So even though, you know, it didn't work out, they dated, and he still didn't tell her. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah. So yeah, what you're saying about, you know, not wanting to convince her to be something. Do you know what I mean? What was your thoughts on that? Like, what did you think that's justified?
What he was saying, I really that was the height of Vanessa is pissing me off. Okay. Was continuously digging at that point. It's like, dude, like, I don't know how else he can explain this. It's not a series of actions, it's a feeling backed up with somebody doing actions. And if you're not seeing them do it, it's not like she's nice. We all watched her. It's like you could see what he was talking about. Like, it was really obvious. It was like, do you want him to start putting her off? Because he doesn't want to do it either. He's just saying it's a feeling. I couldn't see her in that space. What do you mean? I was literally like, don't do this, because you want him to now say something really horrible to her to illustrate his point. And I think all of us can get what he's saying. But I thought he was explaining himself quite well, and my was milking it. Micah was milking it. I totally understood what he said. I didn't like how Vanessa hounded him, and I felt like it also made him change it made him change his answer slightly as well. Like, he then started making excuses for his answer because Vanessa was kind of like probing him for it to come out in a certain way. But I totally got what he meant. Like, there were flags in it. They were basically red flags. And from his point of view, he couldn't see a relationship with her and them having children together. He couldn't see that. And I think that's totally valid. He's not saying that he can't see her in her own setting, but for him, he couldn't see it. And I also wasn't even surprised that they dated after, because I actually thought that might happen. Because I thought to myself, whilst he wasn't ready to marry her, he may have wanted to work on it and like see where it went afterwards. But he probably went to Arizona and hung out with Shelby some more and was like, nah.
For me, you know what? I did not like, it was uncomfortable for me, but I think for the opposite reason. Like, I don't understand that if that was a deciding factor, that you said that on camera, but you haven't said it to me in over a year. Like, I just don't understand like how that's okay. And I don't think Vanessa done a good job of getting that out, but I feel like that was her intention, to demonstrate that is actually not okay. That you is someone that, you know, that you've proposed to, that you say that you love. Do you know what I mean? And this is a deciding factor for you to go to this next thingy. But I'm supposed to be in a bubble and just think everything is cool. And there's no issue there. And there's a fundamental thing that you are deciding our relationship on. And you said it to camera. And you haven't given me a heads up. That's wild to me.
Okay. Do you know what's wild though?
Makes sense. If that had been conveyed, if she'd even like spelt that out, like, this is the disconnect, but getting him to repeatedly go into explaining what was it that she was doing that wasn't giving you, it was like, that's not the like what you want him
that
to.
Was insensitive.
And then saying to him it wasn't sensitive. And then saying to him, but you know, she's the doppelganger of your mum. And then having him have to explain, but they're two different people.
Yeah.
You know, that was quite uncomfortable for me. I think he also, when Micah did ask him about it, he did say, you know, we haven't dated or seen each other for 12 months. So I think he probably felt like he didn't need to explain it to her. And
that's horrible.
because no, it is horrible. I agree with you. Like, it's a conversation that, especially if they dated afterwards, it's a conversation that he should have, you know, for closure, he should have said to her. But also, I do think sometimes they talk to the camera and they don't fully understand what's going to make it and what's not going to make it.
But I do think that is such a terrible, like, it's such a horrible thing to say. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't, like, because he even said himself that it was unfair. Like, do you know what I mean?
The way that he phrased it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. So, like, I think if you know that, Do you know what I mean? Like not having the like just talking. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Micah. I don't like her as a person, but just like from a human to another human, that's horrible. Do you know what I mean? And to hide, and this is the other thing. It's just like to hide. It's almost like to hide behind everything else. She's been a shitty person to him, but you're also being shitty in this moment. That's not okay. But I think it's an imbalance. I think she's been more shitty to him, but that wasn't that thing was not okay to me at all. And I just thought like, I get where you're going, Vanessa, but like you're making it more uncomfortable than it needs to be at the moment. And you're not actually safeguarding Micah from the comment. That's the thing. So it was just like, you know, and you know, she did mention, you know, her own mum wasn't, you know, was thought probably not to be able to have children. And she was like a miracle baby. Do you know what I mean? So she's an only child. She wants, you know, she wanted to have siblings and all that kind of stuff. So she had a story that connected to that, and then you're asking this guy to destroy her again. Do you know what I mean? And it's just repeating it. But it was the wrong line of questioning. And I was like, actually, are you doing this for TV? Because he's backpedaling, and another man who isn't as in his head as Paul is would have just delivered blows, would have gone, you got drunk here, would have then really gone in on her self-esteem. And I was like, actually, I don't see how this questioning is effective. How is this going to help? And also maybe what would have been more helpful for context in why they never had that closing conversation is, how did you guys actually even separate? Because we never got that. It was like we saw each other that weekend and then we never spoke again. So what took place that weekend? Why was there no?
What did you see? Yeah,
it was like there was so many. He broke up with him, and you just asking for more details. I was like, this is really weird and uncomfortable, and you're not helping. You're actually not being Auntie Vanessa in this moment. You're being it's messy.
Not at all. So Zach jumped in for a second. You know, and
I was really trying to help.
He was, wasn't he? He really was.
And then we got to Shelby. Serious.
Shelby needed to be there, to be fair.
So she did.
Shelby should have been there to explain herself. They didn't even focus on her enough.
No,
they didn't. But they did ask the question: was Shelby right in the grand scheme of things? Was she right? I know we don't like her.
No, because I cannot forgive her. I cannot forgive her for the line that she said of, "This is exactly the way that I wanted it to go."
Yeah.
If she had said, I didn't think that this marriage would work, and I'm glad that they haven't got married because I feel like it would have failed and my friend would have been more heartbroken, and she relayed that in her actions on the day, I would say, yes, she was right. But she sniggered, she laughed, she was enjoying the drama, and she made that comment. So, and then Michael was still defending her. You know, her delivery is wrong, but a bitch knows a bitch, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, as she said, as is mine. So they know each other. But if she can watch that back and watch her friends laughing at her, as she said, my heart breaking up on there, like all of these things is why I don't believe her. I am like, you are your friends. None of her friends, only one of them looked really sad, the little one. But her two besties were laughing. When she was walking down the aisle, Micah couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, I know what nerves can do.
Shelby, yeah.
But no, when Micah was walking down the aisle with her dad.
Oh, with her dad. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
She was just, oh my God. I was like,
you're right. I forgot about that.
This is all a mess. Like, you're playing. This isn't real. Like, literally, you're nervous, but this is very strange. And your brethren were laughing as well. Like, it's all
and
strange.
You know what? You know why you're right as well? Because she did very well of moving the focus from herself, didn't she? In that whole thing, she played that really well. Because you're talking about, okay, I understand that you were in love with Paul and you were blindsided by what you heard him say and you hadn't seen some of that, but you also hadn't seen the footage of your brethren, right? Why are you playing that down? You should also, these are the people that are supposed to love you, like your sisters, isn't it? Your comments about that should be a bit more than they were. It's I'm kind of yes, and that's why partly I feel that she did want to marry Paul though, because she is trapped.
In the coven, mate. In the coven.
Yeah.
She can't get out.
But she was ready to defend Shelby though. Like, you know,
she was
a little bit longer. She was ready to be like 10 toes down. That's my girl.
She kind of was defending her, wasn't she? You know, her delivery is a bit wrong.
Yeah, no, she said she said her concerns are things are moving too quickly and she didn't want my heart to be broken. So in that sense, yeah, she was right. That was the line that she gave, and like, you know, yeah, she has terrible delivery, but I understand because I do too. And she didn't want her to have a failed relationship, but it's just like, yeah, you did have all of those things, unfortunately. So she was right, but it's almost like, you know, when someone plants like the seed of doubt into something, do you know what I mean? So what would the outcome be if they were like super 100% supportive? Like, do you know what I mean? Like maybe then, you know, Micah might have been more comfortable, because what it seemed like was Paul and Micah had a problem like communicating. Do you know what I mean? They essentially had the same problem. No one wanted to go first. They're just looking at blinking like, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, that's their problem. So it's just like, you know, to have that, like, if you have support around you and you're it's okay, it's safe for you to say how you feel, and you have those people around you that make it feel safe, then it's nothing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's learned behavior from the group. So the group are a bunch of witches. So no, it's not. It's not good to be out of line of what probably Queen Shelby says. So
make it hell.
Yeah,
that is a fundamental. You do need the blessing of your friends.
Yeah,
because in those shitty times they can be the buffer, because they want you guys to win. Her friends, none of them wanted her to win. So
no,
you can't show them shitty times, because they're going to be like, "Told you, he's a shithead."
Yeah.
And we're going to run with that, like, you know. I can imagine them, you know, when she was saying, I think it was her that was saying that he couldn't say what he liked about her when they were on.
Yes.
I was like, oh no, that's a terrible sign in itself. But your friends are bitches, and they were probably drunk and like pelting questions at him, and he doesn't process like that though. So I can imagine him just being too flummoxed, like, just what do I even do? And I don't know what to say.
I don't know.
He's not that guy. He's not fluid like that. And
he doesn't communicate like that, does he? Really, he doesn't.
They're not.
Because he found his footing. No, because when he was challenged, the clip that they show, he found his footing when he was when Michael was upset that he didn't care about her friend's opinions. Do you know what I mean? He was able to find his footing, come up with a reason of why, and then, do you know what I mean? He was able to navigate. So no, I don't think Paul is a saint either. I think, like, if you, like, in the real world, if you are introducing a guy to your friends and they ask you, what do you like about her? And his response is, I don't know. Red flag. Absolute red flag. I'm not saying it excuses Shelby's reaction, do you know what I mean, to that and how she behaved.
I'm not even saying that.
Not on.
I'm saying the way she's presented, this is what they asked. I don't believe her.
Oh, you don't believe it? You didn't dispute that though.
I would love to see it. Like, but when she was saying, like, just they asked him this and then he couldn't answer, from what we were seeing, they were pelting questions at him. And when he was trying to answer them, they was like, you're taking too long, and started laughing. So already when he was talking to them in the scene that they showed us, he wasn't even allowed to finish talking. And then they was just like, you just talk to him. Like, they weren't being nice. So her saying they just asked you a question, it's like we saw them asking him questions. He wasn't able to answer them. So he couldn't. What did
you think about when she said, oh, we're all friends, we hang like, did you think that was again No, that sounded to me again like she's trying to defend Shelby because Shelby's going to watch this, and Shelby told her, "You better fix this because people think I'm a bitch."
Because I'm going to lose my job if you don't sort it out.
So Shelby's profile is already on private.
Yeah.
Like she's not letting anybody in. Like really, yeah. Micah had been told you need to sort this out.
Yeah.
For me.
She'd been coached by Shelby. That's it. She didn't have media coaching. She had Shelby coaching.
So, Zach, he couldn't watch this go back and forth and his blood was boiling because, he had to jump in and say he thought that Micah was, here for blood and that Paul has been trying to make peace with her. He did say he's apologizing over here and he's taking accountability and you've never defended him. But actually, he didn't actually apologize. He explained himself. He didn't say, I'm sorry, Micah, because da-da-da. He didn't do that. That actually came from Zach, not Paul. And then Micah, her composure dropped at that moment.
Right.
Like, were you there?
It did, didn't it? It's almost at that point. The facade just dropped. Yeah, she did. She absolutely did.
Meekness left. Like she was like, before it was all a bit like,
yeah.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
It was like, there she is. There we go.
There's the girl. Hi, Micah. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. I see you. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And basically he just started trying to grass up the things. And he said, there are women who said that you didn't want to marry Paul. Do you know what I mean? And like, it was like Vanessa then started to go around the room. You hear Chelsea say, well, I know, I didn't.
No, Chelsea was like, I don't know anything about that.
Yes. And then Vanessa
that. She was like, that.
She was just like trying to go to the next. She almost like cut her off. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it got to Irina. And just like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see Tiffany's face though? When Vanessa was going round, Tiffany was like,
yeah.
Well, Tiffany, yeah. I know why now because Jackie, we'll get on to Jackie, but remember that thought because Tiffany thought she was about to be exposed.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah.
So Irina,
where's it going?
Oh, sorry, come. What did you say?
Tiffany was like, where's it going? I still think Tiffany had said something.
I think she did because her face was like
guilty. It was.
They better not come to me. Yeah. It wasn't like like Chelsea's was very much like I don't know nothing about that. Tiffany's was like whoa, hold on now.
Yeah, she was like not me. Like it was.
Yeah. It was.
But once it got to Irina, I was creasing when Vanessa was like, oh, so there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
You again. But yeah, well, actually, yeah, we're right here. Marshall, Jackie, and Josh. So we... what they did show was clips of Jackie and Josh to start off with and like more of their love story, I guess, kind of thing, and how they kind of fell. They're dating currently now. They live together. So, it kind of has worked for them. Yeah, they got a dog.
And a fish.
Yeah. So basically they weren't in the studio, as we said already, and they were on video link talking to Vanessa in a clip recorded earlier or the day before. It was a light interview, to be honest. You know what I mean? Jackie said that she's grown. She clarified that she had broke up with Marshall before the meeting. Vanessa asked her what was the last straw. Apparent from Jackie's point of view, he called her a derogatory term off camera, but she also said that it was taken as a bad joke. And she says, I take accountability for my words and actions. I should have let him speak and not be so defensive. That's what she said. They also asked her about the ring. And she was like, no, she's not giving it back because he even wanted to propose to a different castmate. And actually that he had dated this other castmate and they broke up 2 weeks later. The thing is, when they're showing this interview, they're also showing people's heads in the live audience. Kwame's face was freaking hilarious. He was like,
all of them, all of the cast were like, what are they talking about? And it's almost like the reason why they did it the way that they did it is because Jackie's been getting so much smoke. I feel like her and Joss had a conversation. We need to do this in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
Because, and okay, so there's some things here. I think that her and Marshall were not well matched. Her and Josh were definitely well matched from the beginning, and at least they're still together out of all of this. And my whole thing has never been about her not liking Marshall; it's how it was handled. I'm glad that they clarified some things, but I think it was in this controlled environment because she knew that she'd done some fuckery things, and the best way to not trip yourself up. And I mean, since the show has aired and her responses and all of this stuff, I think the best way for her to redeem herself, because she's been on smoke in all her interviews, how she's been acting, even in this VT saying how I'm a different person now. No, now today you are, you're redeeming yourself now today, and this is the person that you want to be. And I appreciate all of that, but it did seem like a bit of a cop out to me.
I don't even think she was redeemed in any way. She started off pleasant, but as soon as to the ring, and she was like, he wanted the ring to propose to this girl he was dating, and then Josh joins in. They didn't even last long. I was like, you guys are bitches. Like,
that bit there was unnecessary.
You're still being messy, and you're not even doing it face to face with the dude.
Yeah,
so lie to you, but you're still throwing shots for no reason. I
feel like they should have ended the interview before they said that, and then it would have been they would have come off so much better.
Smooth, but you're still being messy about it, and it was a cop out them not being there. She definitely showed the death threats, so she received something from people, but I do think definitely a cop out not being there. I don't think that was fair to Marshall. I think she should have. Josh doesn't. If he wanted to be there, he could be there or not. But I think they should have had that live moment. This wasn't
Josh
be live via VT. That's not hard to do.
Yeah, that's true. They could have done that.
Isn't fair. It's like, come on, man. Like, give the man something in it. Like, let him be able to converse. It wasn't nice.
Why?
Auntie Sade's face, no.
Everyone knows I'm not a fan of Marshall. I never have been. I'm not a fan of Marshall. I it was definitely a cop out for sure. But at the same time, it's if you want to, she doesn't win, but she doesn't lose. Right, by doing that, do you know what I mean? Like it can't get worse for her. She's already it's already worse.
That's why she did it. That's absolutely why she did it.
Live. She'll be at a disadvantage. So I totally understand. But she's okay with that. Like she does not get, like, do you know what I mean? So she doesn't live by the same kind of moral compass as other people, I don't think. So then we get on to Marshall. So Vanessa just straight in. What do you think? And he's just like, but the thing is, Marshall, okay, let me try and be, but like, he was just like, I don't know what to say, I'm just taking it in. I'm just like, bruv, you're here. Like, seriously, surely you should be prepared. This is your moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is and it's like, it's not like you can't perform on camera because we've been seeing you. Do you know what I mean? So I
believe his whole state to the camera 2? Is it camera 2?
Presenter.
I don't like him. I just don't like it. I don't like his. I don't buy it. Like, I just don't buy it. I just think like, no, you think you're nice. You think you're so nice. Like, my eyes were rolling already.
I didn't get that from him at all. I didn't get his smarmy, because I definitely think he can be smarmy. I think he tried to could tell his smarminess.
Mm-hmm.
And he was answering things directly. I think he gave her like really a lot of grace, but was being probed in ways.
Yeah,
it's not his,
especially
being rude. Like he was interrupting. He was just being like he was just like, oh wait, I'm gonna get there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think
like,
yeah. Yes,
no,
yeah.
On him.
See, I kind of I'm with you, Auntie Nana, because I feel like he responded like he was on edge already because he's not been given the moment to have the interaction. They're saying things he can't even respond back to it. You know, this is a pre-recorded thing that he's watching and not able to defend himself in the moment and interact with them, right? So there's that, and then Vanessa's coming at him. So yes, I agree with you, Auntie Sade, that there was a moment where he was like, I'm coming to it. It's like, all right, chill out, bruv. Like, you know, but I get why he might have been heated in that moment. And you know, like your heart's racing and you're like, this is still something that's affecting me, even though I'm trying to act like it's not affecting me. So I think he was trying to handle himself and answer the questions as best that he could. He did give her a lot of grace. I didn't like the fact that Vanessa wasn't, because they weren't there, and because she didn't want to say something about what Jackie, her leaked messages, she was trying to skirt over that. So what she did instead was focus on what Marshall had said. And I didn't like that because it even from what Jackie said in the VT and from what Marshall was saying, it was a moment when they both said stuff to each other. So you can't keep focusing on what he said, and he didn't use a derogatory term when you're not focusing about the whole. I feel she's not great at interviewing, though, is she?
Well, no, that was disputed though. So like his main issues were because he was challenged on because, you know, he kind of gave the impression that he was cheated on. Right, that was the how the show was cut was that that Jackie had cheated on him, that she was still when Josh, and that was cleared up, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Marshall did nothing to clear that up previously, right? Do you know
when though? When do you mean? In the show?
In the show, he didn't clear that up. So he didn't
say. Remember, this is the other thing you've got to remember. All of those guys have had to sign NDAs. What Jackie's chosen to do is what Jackie's chosen to do. What he said was, that's, you know, I don't know what in all his interviews before this reunion, what he said was, I can't speak for what she did. That's what he said.
Yes.
So he can't come out and start talking about it's chopped up this way, it's chopped up that. No. He can't start. No, you know.
He can't say that, but there are ways to handle that question. Do you know what I mean? He went along with the narrative, just how Micah is going along with a certain narrative to imply certain things. He's also doing the same, in my opinion. He said, you know, so when he was asked about it, he said it's okay. It doesn't matter, but he was just like, it didn't matter if it was a day, it was a day before or a day after she was kissing a new dude a couple of days after we broken up. So that was the fact that was bunning him, right? Also, you know, them going back and forth with the derogatory comment, he believed they were joking. His account is different to her account. So I don't think we're going to get the truth. Do you know what I mean? He's saying he didn't say a slur. She's saying that he did.
Did you see when she put out her receipts?
Yeah, but that's still her opinion, right? Do you know what I mean? That's still her point of view.
It's like, so she gave her account and that confirms exactly what he said. But she then summarized and said, he called me a tranny. He said, you got a strong jaw, should I do Mr. or Mrs.? And she says all of that to Micah.
Okay, there's bits kind of scrubbed out on those things as well. Do you know what I mean? So like, basically the stories are not matching, right? Do you know what I mean? So like what she said on the show is different to what
everything he said,
and he believed that they were joking, and you know, he was retaliating for the fact that she was calling him sweet, implying that he was gay and that sort of thing, and his comments were to imply that she was, you know, a transsexual. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. I think Vanessa's tripping up because she didn't want to imply that what in those messages was the fact that could be taken as a negative, and people shouldn't take it as a negative.
That's why she said that. Yes, she didn't want to say it, but then she wanted Marshall. But then this is why I'm saying it's not fair. Exactly, because she wanted Marshall to say the words, but she wasn't. You know, she wanted Marshall to to say exactly what it is that you said to Jackie, but you didn't answer. No. I mean, like the term. It's almost like she wanted Marshall to go.
But because we don't know what Jackie, she can't prove what Jackie is saying is true. So all Marshall can do.
But she could have done. She could have, because she interviewed her. So she could have. The same way she's doubling down on Marshall.
Basically. Well, if we don't believe her, Jackie's lied, hasn't she? So she's saying that he called me tranny. He's saying, no, this is what I said. And I think that is fair for him to say what he said. What Vanessa done was clumsy, was just like the way that she kind of even came into it, the way she described the text messages. I think that was just really, really clumsy. She didn't have the tools or the range to deal with that with care.
It's either you say what is out there with these leaked messages, which Jackie
you can quote.
Said they are my messages. She has confirmed that. She was like, this was to my girls' chat. Mm-hmm. She's already said all of that. So to skirt around it, when he's like, everything that was in that exchange with us is what she had sent to her girls. Mm-hmm. And we saw that. She basically called him a gay dude who was twerking on the bed. He's fruity. She put all of that. So, yes, I can totally see in retaliation, you got a strong jawline. Should I be crossing off Mr.? That he didn't call you a tranny, though. And she wrote that. She said all of that.
Yeah.
He said this. He called me a tranny, but he hasn't said that term. And he's saying, I didn't say that term, though. And it's like... You're saying the same things. You were quoting each other. That's a cussing. Yeah. You decided then to go into,
because you didn't like it. Yeah, and I'm not saying that you should have liked it, but equally you were cussing him. So it, like you said, Auntie Nana, it was a cussing match. And then Vanessa was like, "Well, I wouldn't like it if you called me something about." I was like, "Come on now, Vanessa. I'm sure Nick wouldn't like it if you said what she said to him either, would he?" So. But it was just, I think you summed it up beautifully, Auntie Charlotte, when you said she didn't have the tools required to probe that conversation. And she should have either said something like, done it properly or not done it at all. Yes. Because I just feel like she didn't probe Jackie in the same way that she probed Marshall.
Mm-hmm. It was like trying to get...
Or attempted to.
Apology out of Marshall, but you weren't doing the same for Jackie. And that was the thing where it's like, that actually isn't fair. Also, he's there solo, like doing this as well. Like literally, he doesn't even have somebody to go back and forth with other than you. It just wasn't fair. Like, this is out of order. It's not a nice way to do it. It gave me like Big Brother Makosi vibes. I got Vanessa doesn't like him, like how you don't like him.
I think he doesn't like Vanessa also. Do you know? I think it's mutual. I don't think it's one side.
Yeah. Like it was they weren't vibing, so maybe it needed to be Nick that spoke to him.
Yeah,
it should have been. You're right.
Also, I feel it was revealed that he was interested in someone else. Let's say that. Mm-hmm. Interested in someone else also. And Marshall's message to Jackie was like, we all deserve to move on. You've got a dude now. Let's stop all of this. Let's call a truce, basically. And he said that he felt slighted on the show because he didn't get to go to the altar, and slighted in the reunion, which the slighted on the show, again, like, to me, it's a red flag. I can't lie, guys. It's a red flag to me, because it's just like it was never going to get there. Do you know what I mean? So I get that you're upset, but it's just like, just what would you have her do? Pretend for the show so you get to the altar, so you say no to her? Is that what you wanted? Would that have satisfied you? Like, I just don't know.
I think from what he was saying, what I got out of it, and I'm in two minds, because part of me is like, well, if you know it's not going to get there, then what's the harm in ending it where you ended it? But I suppose what he was saying is the whole point of the experiment is to get to the altar, and that at that point to say what you feel and where it's going to go. And he wasn't given the opportunity. Now, I don't think he believes that Jackie would have said yes to him anyway. And even if she answered first, but I think he wanted to complete the assignment and get to that point. And he didn't get to that point.
but it doesn't consider her in that. Can you see that? Like, do you know what I mean? He just wants what he wants to do.
But she just wants what she wants too. Yeah, so that's why they're not a match. That's why they're not a match. Because they both want what they want.
Talking about he was slighted, so he still hasn't let that fact go. Do you know what I mean? So like,
and I can understand why not. She sat there with her new dude. You haven't even had the opportunity. You haven't even had the opportunity to really say to get your point. So I get it. And then you're sat there with your new dude on a pre-record. I've still not had the opportunity. So I get it. But he wants what she wants. He wants what he wants, and she wants what she wants. That's it.
It's just she got what she wanted, though.
Yeah,
she did.
She got the ring. She got the new man. She got to do a pre-record. She got
pissing him off, man.
Absolutely, and I can understand why it would.
A year later, relax.
Yeah,
because it's like it's the other way round, and he had done all of that to her. He would be the same. He would be cast
because a year later, Micah still fucked off at Paul. So I get it.
I don't like Micah either. Okay, so now we get to a couple that we actually like. Brittany.
Yay!
We kind of actually this is the part I have the least notes on. Do you know what I mean? Like, serious. We show their shoe wall that is grown.
And it looks like they've moved, doesn't it, into their larger apartment?
And actually, it was larger.
It looks
because of where he's got his shoes and that part. It did look a bit larger. Not like hugely large, but it doesn't look like the same place.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't look like the same building. I was like, the kitchen
angle was different. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
it seemed different to me.
I mean, Chelsea and Kwame had the best apartment, didn't they?
Definitely.
Yeah, they did. But breakfast at Tiffany's, I thought that was very cute. Her makeup,
very,
very cute. But yeah, in terms of their conversation, they're happy. They're happy. Yeah,
basically.
He
moved to Portland. Didn't realize that he didn't live in Portland. They didn't say that in the show either.
Yeah, they didn't. Which is interesting because they made such a big deal of Kwame living in Portland, and they didn't mention that Brett's also doing the same thing and that Tiffany would have to move. Yeah, that was very interesting.
There was
and I like that. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I like the fact as well that Brett was fully like saying, I think people don't realize that she's had to do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? She made a lot of sacrifices and stuff. And then we see everyone's different apartments. Carmi and Chelsea, they're in Seattle. I loved her pink chairs. I love pink furniture anyway in general. That was really cool. They have their own bathrooms, amazing. But that frigging blanket needs to go now. It needs to go. Like, it's disgusting.
Like, get rid of it, please. Like, oh, come on, you're a married woman.
This place, which I was surprised about, because I would have thought that Brett and Tiffany would have had a place like that. So
Me too.
Surprised at the aesthetic. I was like, oh, interesting.
Me too.
I would have placed them in that penthouse apartment.
But she let him bring the couch.
Yeah, we've got to have something.
It's the same as Brett, though. That was his saving grace.
That was his saving. Yeah, but Brett probably doesn't have the same DNA.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But also, they're in Portland, so maybe that's why it's not as nice. Seattle's probably like,
yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? Jazzier. And then we see what's it called? Bliss and Zach. Him singing, just no.
It was annoying.
Which was really cute. They meet up and do couple.
So cute, wasn't it? And it was, and you can see that it wasn't. You can see it wasn't just a one time that they met up. Like, this is their thing. They link each other. I really thought that was lovely. I thought, look at that.
Outfits and stuff.
Yeah, when they went away, I loved that.
Oh God. Then we had so Kwame, I think they probably got a note in their ear, we didn't address this name thing, so it went back to that. And he kind of talked about, he's proud of his name, So he said he wanted to call himself Alex because he didn't want people to identify his race, but he wanted to go with Kwame because he's proud of his name. But that part of the sentence apparently got locked off. And he said, he didn't want to talk about, when he's talking with his producer, he didn't want to talk about race or color or anything like that in the beginning stages. So he, would take the prejudice out of the process. And I just thought, maybe you want to identify the prejudice at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because what if you start talking to someone like Micah, who clearly doesn't want a black dude really in the real world, and then there's prejudice there? Like, I'm absolutely with you. Be yourself upfront in it, because if the person has an issue with it, then you shouldn't be with them anyway. If they're forming an opinion based on that, then you shouldn't be with them anyway.
Right.
So it
doesn't feel fair. Actually, it felt like quite blindsidey. So for one, I just feel like you would be able to hear it's a black man, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's the inner blackness detector that you can tell a black.
Black dog.
Be able to tell. But also, if you don't, and that totally is not your preference in any way, but you have a connection with this person, that you've fallen in love with them in the pod, and then you see them, to think that just because of a voice and you falling in love with is going to erase racism is folly.
It's not.
I was like, I was literally like, you were creeping up slightly because of your hairline and everything. And then when he said it, you dropped right back down. Yeah, here we are. There he is.
Like Micah. There he is. There he is.
What type of utopian colorblindness bullshit are you trying to spin on the world? I was like, this is stupid.
And then I thought maybe Vanessa's projecting a little bit, because she made a point of calling him Alex Kwame when he's identified himself as Kwame. That's what he wants to be called.
He even said it. Yeah,
exactly. And then you reinforce his British, I guess American, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, do you know what I mean? You reinforce
Anglo name.
Yes. Anglo-Saxon name.
It was actually rude. I was like, what you're doing, your grand gesturing of I'm putting this to bed, is also like that type of centering, like I'm going to affirm you. You have the stamp of approval. Yes. That was I was like, this is bullshit. And again, what everybody was saying about him, he just proved. In trying to disprove it, it's like you reaffirmed everything we thought.
Absolutely. Because he said, he married his dream girl. That just summed it up for me completely.
Like, he knew.
Do you know what I mean? So, bro, seriously. And then we was wrapping up basically. I'll leave that. But we had a strange clip from Bartiste and his baby Hayden.
Right? And what was that about?
That was just really, really, really strange. And then
did you hear the crowd boo?
Because I thought it was weird as well. It was like,
it was weird.
Why? Like, just why?
The crowd booed, and he was like, "Oh, he'll never watch this. He'll never watch my season anyway." It was just like, "Oh, why have they rolled to?" I really thought, actually, when they said someone from the past, I thought they were rolling out Cameron and
yes,
and the one I was Lauren. I thought they were rolling them out.
Yeah,
and then it was him, and I thought, "Oh, okay."
And it was like a segue to talk about babies. That's what it was. It was just like, okay, we need someone who's got a baby. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like,
who's had a baby?
Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, it was just so strange. And then Vanessa goes into the weirdest rant and thing about babies. It was just ridiculous. I don't think you should ask couples if they're trying. It's none of your freaking business. Like,
because she said, I'm not going to ask you if you're trying. And then she proceeded to harp on them and ask on them if they're trying. Like, you just don't do that, because you also don't know what they're going through.
Right.
You don't ask about someone.
It's a year.
Like, what is it? I just thought, is this a campaign? Like, are we who's this funded by? That's what that's why I
what in the Handmaid's Tale?
It was like, do you want to hand out like a splinter show Like, do you want people to now be competing to have baby? It was strange. I was like, this is really weird.
Love is baby.
We're going at season 3 people that got married, like, but it was just like they haven't even been able to show that they're in a relationship.
Yeah,
like forcing this baby rest. It made me uncomfortable. It was like, this is strange, dude. This isn't normal. And even if a producer told you, you maybe needed to push back and be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
she was just going on and on and on about it.
I feel like she came up with it.
Yeah. It would no, because because the VT with Bartice, they thought about it. That's what they wanted to say. Do you know what I mean?
They did.
Honed in. Because otherwise it just doesn't make sense.
And they all kind of gave the same answer, apart from maybe Bliss, who was, well, even Bliss in a roundabout way, even though she said that she can't wait, it was still like, we're all kind of like, we're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
We've just got married. It's not like they've been together, they've been married for a year, but they've been together for years before that. They literally have just met. Right. A lot. It's just inappropriate, isn't it? Like, you don't need to ask them questions.
No, like, are we in the 1950s? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was just like, we live different lives now. Like, please, this is too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like overall, yeah, definitely. See, the thing is, we didn't even really talk about Nick's questions because they were just frigging irrelevant, to be honest. He didn't do anything to add to, do you know what I mean? Like, or save or protect anyone.
Nothing.
Like, Vanessa was an absolute shit show. She really was. It was like, I could see where she was trying to go, but she just wasn't landing with any of her points. And
she's trying to be that firm, that host, isn't it, that gets to the core of the things, but it just wasn't getting there.
No. And I don't know what she's like previously. What I did like, though, is some of the things that we did want to talk about, or we did want talked about, they did bring in. So like clips and stuff, and even just mentioning texts, even though she just bumbled her way through it, like those kind of things, that was good because it was like in real time and had like maybe that kind of like was a tie into the liveness and social and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think that would have been good, but yeah, she's got to go. I don't know who's going to replace them, but she's
and it was funny that she mentioned that, since season 1, her and Nick have been very much more removed because it's your journey. And it's like, she was almost defending herself and making a case for them, wasn't she?
Why you only see us twice.
Yes.
Throughout the whole thing. But yeah, I think it's okay. Because weren't that their introduction, like they met on a blind date or something in season 1 when they presented them as hosts? It was like they had some type of a similar blind date-ness.
Wow.
Was why they were the hosts.
And then he dumped her and then they got back together.
Yeah,
well,
so now I'm like, we don't need that.
The thing is, have you seen the clip of him and Jessica Simpson? Because he used to be married to Jessica Simpson.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah, go on.
And she's hosting and she's like, come over and congratulate your girl. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all very weird. And they're all...
I think she was in a video as well. She was in one of his videos. I think she was that too. But what I did like from Nick, the one good thing he said to them was, and I think this is a reflection of him being on camera with Jessica. It gave me his, when him and Jessica Simpson had their reality show, when he was like, focus on you two and drown out the noise in a way that's, in a roundabout way, he was telling them, ignore what other people are saying because you know what's real and focus on your relationship. I kind of liked where that was the one time I was like, oh, he's saying something that's useful.
Yeah.
Other than
spoken more, like
he should have absolutely.
It was just weird. It was like, why are you there if you're just gonna sit there and not really participate? Then she should have just hosted it. Like, we've seen reunions with just one person hosting it.
Yeah.
It didn't seem. Yeah, I'm over them. Like, they can switch them out now. Let's get 2 people who are a bit.
They should get Lauren and Cameron to do it. They'd actually be decent hosts, and at least they've gone through the.
Cameron, no.
Yeah,
have you seen him in his little bits lately? Have you seen him in his little? Bless him.
He's a bit annoying.
Bit wooden.
Oh, can I say something that was weird? I saw an interview with him and Brett, And the woman was like, or maybe it was an interview, might have been something on TikTok, and she was like, "Oh yeah, our black kings." I was like, "Are you right?"
With who? What?
They were talking about perfect couples and the couples that are good, and they mentioned Brett. And Brett and Cameron were together, and she was like, "Look at our black kings." I was like, "Oh, we're not going to do that though. let's not do that." No, like it wasn't. I think it wasn't an interview. It was like a report. Someone reporting on them.
Yeah,
Being together and being in these spaces and doing like they were on a Love is Blind tour around the country, probably talking about the show and stuff like that. And that's what she was like, "Oh, look at our black kings." I was like,
"Yeah,
we don't need to do that though.
No,
it's cool."
Love is Blind is coming to the UK. Who do you think? Which celebrity married couple should host?
That is a good question. You know who I could see them wheeling out, and I don't even know if it would work, but Vernon Kay and Tess Daly.
Do you know what? I was having this conversation. They did come up, but he's got so much scandal.
Definitely. But I could see him wheeling them out because they're that kind of like middle age kind of could. No. Oh my God. Yeah. That's it. Oh Lord.
Who?
Go on.
Ian Sterling and the one that was doing Love Island. What's her name? I forgot.
Laura Whitmore. Laura Whitmore.
It could be
no.
Please no.
I would prefer it to be. I would prefer it to be a comedy duo. So I would prefer it to be. You know the guy that does the commentary on. What show is it? It's a Cockney Geezer. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's got like blonde hair and he does a commentary on it. What show is it?
Cockney Geezer.
He's like Cockney and he's blonde and he does the commentary on. Yes.
Yeah.
What show is it that he does the commentary on? And it's funny. Oh, I think it might have been, what's the celebrity one where they are dating multiple people and they're part of a dating show and the black man's the host and they're celebrities dating normal people. It's on Channel 4.
Oh, Celebs Go Dating.
Celebs Go Dating. He does the commentary on Celebs Go Dating, the Cockney geezer.
Okay.
Him and his wife have been on a couple of things. They're quite funny.
Who's the wife? I cannot place.
I don't know who his wife is.
She's not famous like that, but she's done some things with him. But she's not famous like that. But they've done like a couple of things together that could work.
Yeah.
Because I just don't.
Stacey
Solomon and what's his face?
Yeah. And her man.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be all right.
That would be okay, actually.
The man from EastEnders, who I can't remember something. Joe Squash.
And it would be watchable.
That could actually work.
Yeah.
That could actually work. Yeah.
Either Molly and Tommy from Love Island. I think they would be really cute. Or Rochelle and Marvin.
Oh no, not those two.
Marvin.
No.
No,
not those two. No, not those two.
Rochelle and Marvin could do it. Like,
no, not those two. No. No. Just there's so many reasons. Just no, because I find them dry and dull and stale. I'm really sorry, but and they give me brother sister vibes. No.
I think they would look good.
It would be so boring. It would be so boring with those two. So utterly boring.
They're not giving any. They're ridiculously safe.
Yeah.
They're so blah. It's blah.
Anything like
they're not probing. It's blah.
We're not getting extra.
No. Molly and Tommy. You're more likely to get them asking some questions that are going to make them uncomfortable. Yeah. You know, that's a bit appearing.
That's the only thing.
Tommy's not the greatest.
No, he isn't. I think Stacey and Joe would probably be the best. If we're going for married couples, it would probably be them. If they're not going for married couples,
yeah. And Stacey's going to stumble into shit because it's like she's got a mouth like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's gonna keep it real.
I saw online that, like, I think it would actually be a good show.
Yeah. I do. I actually think they'd be good.
It would actually be good because she'd be like, did he propose to someone else?
I don't believe you. But hold on, didn't you say to that girl that you? That's what Stacey would be like. No, because I saw you. No, Joe, I saw them. We all saw. Didn't we all see them? No. She'd be good. Get them two to do it.
Mad Cammy says, I'd love it to be Unknown P, but who's going to do it with Unknown P? That would be a mess. That would be jokes, though. That would be
jokes. That would be jokes. So,
yeah.
I don't even know.
We ain't got a lot, though, innit? There's not a lot.
No, because they'd wheel out TV husband and wife. They, you know, who is it? Flipping Holly and Phil.
Dry.
That'd be dry. That'd be so dry.
Oh my word! There's a space though, isn't it? Then you know, if Toby and Chloe had stayed together, I feel like they could have, if they had been like a mature couple and they had done more presenting, they could have been in the running. Oh, Unknown P.
I think you need a couple that's been married for a while.
Yeah, you do. So they've got that kind of thing. Yeah, you do.
So they can give insight. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's Stacey and Joe. It's them two.
It's Stacey and Joe, you know, they would.
It's Stacey and Joe. I think so. And they can you imagine Stacey going in to see them when they're getting when they're picking out their dresses? Oh my god, it's lovely. And Joe like, nah, mate. I think like you could actually wear a different suit. Like you can wear tight trousers, isn't it? Like take it up a couple inches.
They would be good. Oh, I hope
they'd be good. They would be so good.
Honestly.
Oh my word, who are they going to give us? You know, it's not going to be. It's going to be dry. It's going to be
crispy, so dry and crispy.
So yeah, I think it's not going to be good. The thing is, what seems to be good, I'm going to watch someone reached out to me and said, what do you call it? Married at First Sight Australia.
I love Married at First Sight Australia. Bad boy. You see, if you don't want to do another thing, let's do that because that's hella. And like, you see the English one can't chat to the Australian one. The American one can't chat to the Australian. The Australian one, for some reason, is so. Oh, shoot. Have you not never watched it?
I have. I've seen clips, obviously.
Oh my god, it's amazing. We need to. They do it every year. They do it every year. It's like the most popular maths. Like it's just, oh my god, it's the best. It is so much drama. Yeah, people swapping partners, people doing things like it's wild.
So Married at First Sight Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. And the online community about that is deep too. We need to do that. It's mad.
Oh, I think we've just missed this season.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, is it? Oh, that's a shame. It's so good.
I think so. Yeah. On tomorrow. Yeah.
They've been some Married at First Sight.
This.
There's been some Married at First Sight babies. There's been some Married at First Sight babies. Yeah, there's a few successful marriages out of it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. The ones that give like couples get married is that and Love Island. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
and
the children.
the probing from the presenters on Married at First Sight. They ask all the questions you want to, all the questions. Because what they do is on that show as well, they get the couples to meet up and they have like dinner like every so often, and they do like and like things come out, and they've got the presenters back looking at it. Is so messy, but gloriously messy.
Yeah,
it's great. I'm pissed I missed the series.
I'm saying,
we'll catch the next one. So, guys, let us know. Is there any other, shows that we should be watching or that you enjoy that you want us to talk about and discuss?
Yeah. This is our last reality thing until Love Island. So
at the moment,
when's Grown People's Love Island? We still don't know, do we?
No, they still haven't released the date yet.
No,
we don't know. Later on the year, so they'll probably do it in the autumn.
Yeah, they're still saying Davina might do it, isn't it?
Yeah. No, she's got the job. She's announced it.
Oh, has she announced it? Oh wow, okay. Oh, cool. That makes sense though for her to do it.
She actually like went for this job. I love Davina.
Did she?
I'm such a
I like Davina
fan
as
of
well.
hers.
Me too. Me too.
You know, like you can never be too sure, but at the moment, I like her based on what I know to be true. Not any secrets that she's got, or
based on what I know to be true. Based on how she is when she's on set, she's a decent individual.
Every single, you know what? To be fair, every human, it's that. Based on what I know.
Because you can't be too careful.
Nah, you can't be. You can't be at all.
It's so annoying.
You can't throw your hand in the fire, innit?
Yeah, she hasn't shown anything other than when she was horrible to Makosi. But she's been.
I'm gonna find that and watch that. I for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't paying. I just actually.
Nah, I think that was an awkward interview. It was an awkward interview.
I don't actually don't.
Grueling. That was horrible. That was probably one of the first like horrible interviews of reality TV.
Really? More so? Oh.
Because I thought she done really well.
Especially over here. Americans, that things could go left, but not over here. But they're always so polite. But you could tell she didn't. So she wasn't.
I don't know. I feel like when she did, like when it was like, I feel like I remember Nasty Nick being a difficult interview. Not difficult, but it's not like she was like just nice to him. Yeah. I don't think she was just like, oh yeah, well done to you. I don't think it was like that.
She asked him. He got good questions though. You know, like we all wanted to know lots of things. With Makosi though, it was more everything
character destroying.
You did. You know, anything bad that happened to her, it was like, but you did this type of. So it was like, you know, people were like this to you because of what you did, and it was just very piling on. I think she even issued an apology afterwards as well. It just wasn't pleasant. It wasn't nice, and it was like
I need to watch it because I remember she lied. Makosi lied about something, so she lied.
Yeah, she did.
She was pregnant, and it was like there was no.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, it was
like, and it was like, she's 1 minute pregnant. Do you remember? It's like, I'm pregnant now.
Like, what the fuck, man? That I can see. I need to watch it. Like, was she just annoyed because the girl was just being a liar?
Yeah.
It was very stupid. Makosi was stupid.
It was stupid.
Like, that whole thing, like we had sex in a pool. And then he was like, we didn't have sex. It was just out. Like,
yeah.
I need a pregnancy test. It was just
I'm pregnant. Maybe maybe she didn't know how the birds and the bees work.
She was a nurse. Yeah, she was a nurse.
Was she a nurse? Oh God, I can't remember.
Exactly. It was nonsense.
She was trying it. She was trying it, mate.
That was ridiculous. But
yeah.
Oh Lord. Guys, you haven't told us what else we should be reviewing. Gilda said Makosi was drama. She was like quality TV. I think she just left the country because she could have been like you know, the one that was in Flavor of Love.
Oh yeah, Tiffany.
Have you seen Tiffany's interview with what's the woman's name from Abbott Academy? Not the main woman, Cheryl.
Okay, Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got an interview together.
Them interviewing each other. It is the most hilarious thing.
God.
Oh,
it's just so funny. Oh my God.
I'm gonna watch it. I like Cheryl Lee Ralph. She jokes.
She's just so funny. Tiffany's just she's going in and Cheryl's just like, whoa.
I need to watch it. Yeah, Cheryl's like, I'm a real black girl and I'm Jamaican. Don't test. Nobody test me. That's what she wants to say to her.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think we're about ready to go.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like nearly 2 hours.
I know it literally is almost 2 hours, and this is our last one for Love is Blind. We did the season. Look at that. Well done to us. We have reviewed every single episode. So now, unless you guys tell us something else that you want us to review, which you can do, you know, you can DM us on Instagram or on Facebook or tweet us, like get in touch, or just leave a comment on the old YouTube as well. And then maybe we'll review something else. But if not, then we will be back again for Love Island, which is in, I think, 7 weeks anyway. And you know,
it's not much time, really, you know.
Not much time at all. And we're going to be back again every day. Every day for the old Love Island.
They'll be back. They will be back every day.
Yeah, so in the meantime, let us know. And then weekly, you'll be able to see our podcast where it's all 4 of us in studio, sometimes with a guest as well. So thank you so much for being on this ride with us as well. It's been fun.
And thank you for your comments.
Yes. Mad Jimmy, Life of Bodge jumping in from time to time as well.
Yeah.
You think of who else is usually a regular. Sorry if I'm missing out any names. Andrew's Utopia.
Cookie Tea or Tea.
Yes. Yes, Cookie Tea, Lenzel, Helen, just everybody that jumps in the comments with us as we've been doing this. So be back for Love Island. We'll be back for that as well. And then
we got episode out now.
Yes,
so,
there's out now, uploaded today, which is really good. Had a lot of people on that while that was premiere.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much.
What are we saying thank you for? I can't see it.
Oh, super chat.
Okay, cool. Yay! Woo-hoo!
Much, guys. So yes, we will be back soon, but we will do these lives, you know, from time to time. We're going to drop in, so when you see us going live, just jump in as well. We may do some like little like talks, and then you tell us what you want us to chat about, and we can just chat with you. That will be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.